quiz, cones, pyramids, and spheres. Number 1, the height of the cone starts at the middle of the base and goes up to the vertex. So this measurement is your height. And in order to find your height, you need to use the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Well, notice that if I were to draw the hypotenuse of this right triangle, it equals 13. So the hypotenuse equals 13. So I'm going to write that off here to the side. So 13 squared. The C measurement in Pythagorean theorem is always your hypotenuse. Now, we don't have A or B, but we do know the diameter of this base is 10 centimeters. So the radius must be 5 centimeters. So this measurement is 5 centimeters. And that's also the length of one of the legs of the right triangle. So I'm going to plug that into either A or B in the formula. Doesn't matter which place you plug it into. And so we're going to represent A squared as the height. This is the missing measurement here of the right triangle. So 5 squared is 25. 13 squared is 169. Now, using your equation principle of inverse operations, we want to get the variable alone. So we're going to subtract 25 from both sides. That cancels. 169 minus 25 is 144. So we're left with A squared equals 144. Well, the variable's not alone when you have that exponent attached to it, so we need to take the inverse of squaring, which is to take the square root in order to get rid of that exponent. So do the same thing on both sides. So taking the square root of A squared eliminates the exponent. The square root of 144 is 12, because 12 times 12 is 144. So the height is 12. The radius we calculated is 5. 10 is the diameter. The radius is always half the diameter. The slant height is given to us. It's 13. Circumference, we're going to use the formula pi times diameter. It's okay to round pi to 3. So 30. Since the base is in the shape of a circle, to find the area of the base, use pi r squared. Round pi to 3. The radius is 5. Don't forget to square it. So we have 3 times 25, which equals 75. Volume. The formula for volume of a cone is area of the base times the height divided by 3. Well, we've already calculated area of the base is 75. So we have, so I'm going to write it over here. So we have 75 times the height is 12 divided by 3. So let's see, 75 times 12 is 900. So we have 900 divided by 3, and that equals 300. And we can go back and add our units. Volume is cubed, area is squared, circumference, you just write the units. Okay, so we're done with the first shape, the cone. Now we have a square pyramid. So the base is in the shape of a square. The height of the pyramid is 4. Again, the height of the shape starts at the center of the base and goes up to the vertex. The slant height we don't have, but we're going to use Pythagorean theorem to solve for the slant height. So I'm going to draw here's my right triangle. So we're solving for the slant height, which is also the C. So I'm going to put a C above slant height. C is the hypotenuse. So we're missing the hypotenuse, we're missing the slant height. So we need to determine what's the length from here to here. Well, look down here, 6 inches. 6 inches is the length of a side of the square. So this length should be half of 6, which is 3 inches. And now I have a 3, 4, 5 Pythagorean triplet right triangle, so you don't need to do any calculations. You need to just remember that one rule for Pythagorean theorem triplet. So that slant height is 5 inches. And if you want to prove that, you can plug these measurements into Pythagorean theorem. 3 squared plus 4 squared equals c squared. So we have 9 plus 16 equals 25. Take the square root of 25 equals 5, right? Because 5 times 5 is 25. Perimeter of the base. Well, what I like to do to understand the base a little better is I'm going to draw a picture of the base. The base is a square. And one side length is 6, so that means all the side lengths have to be 6, since the sides of a square are congruent. Okay? So the perimeter of the base, we just add up the side lengths. 6 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6, and you get 24. You could also do 6 times 4, but get in the habit of just, if you have a shape where all the sides aren't congruent, you're not going to be able to multiply like that. Just get in the habit of understanding to find perimeter, you add up all the side lengths. Area of the base. Well, area is just base times height. You can look at your math chart and see that there's no formula for square, but a square has the same formula as a rectangle or parallelogram on your math chart, so just base times height. 6 times 6 is 36. Your lateral surface area formula is perimeter of the base times the slant height divided by 2. We've already calculated the perimeter of the base. We've already calculated the slant height. So 24 times 5 is 120. 120 divided by 2 is 60. And area is always squared. Okay? Total surface area. Well, total surface area includes the lateral area plus the area of the base. The area of the base is 36. We've already calculated that. And you get 96 inches squared. Volume is area of the base times the height divided by 3. Area of the base is 36. The height is 4. So it's 144 divided by 3. And you get 48 inches cubed. Okay? The last shape on the quiz, the sphere. The sphere has a radius of 6, a diameter of 12. This measurement is the diameter. Half of that measurement is your radius. The volume formula for a sphere is 4 times pi times radius cubed divided by 3. On the math chart, you're going to see it as 4/3 pi r cubed. These two formulas are the same, but I prefer this formula because it's easier to understand. Work the numerator operations first and then just divide the number that you get by 3. So let's plug and then chug. We're going to use 3 for pi. The radius is 6 cubed. And then do not forget to divide all that by 3. So let's see, 4 times 3 is 12. Let's see, 6 cubed is the same thing as 6 times 6 times 6. So we have 36 times 6. And you get 216. So now we need to multiply 216 times 12. And I believe it's 2,592. Let me check. Yeah, 2,592. So 2,592 divided by 3. Let's see, gives you 8. Let's see, no, I think it's 864 if I'm not mistaken. 6. Yeah, 864 inches cubed would be your answer.